Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm your host and founder of the Bobby White Foundation. Thanks for joining us tonight. I got some really exciting things, going on that I want to share with you. But first, let's get our business stuff squared away. I want to thank John with Area 52 Media Group, my producer. He's behind the scenes with me. Awesome. If you want to do your own show, please contact Area 52 Media Group. You'll end up having so much fun. I mean, you wouldn't think that, the subject matter that we deal with, that this ends up being fun. In the beginning, it probably wasn't, but it is. And he makes it great and makes it easy. So also our sponsors, Delynn Gaston with the mortgage firm, Everything Mortgages. I don't know. It's a crazy time with everything. I see so many houses around our area that are for sale right now, which I don't know. To me, it seems weird, but it may not be. I don't know. But you have questions, don't know what to do, don't know where to start. She's your gal. That's it. She's your gal. So also, Tammy White Galleries, our new sponsor. Everything custom framing and art. Actually, and the host for Art for Hope coming up in September. We got some really great things getting ready to happen for that too. So we're pretty excited about it. So, other business stuff. I forgot. And I guess I'm just kind of excited about what we're going to talk about today. We also have, we work with Baycare, partner with Baycare. So we did a mental health first aid class a couple years ago. We're working on getting some more. And so I finally got with them. They're going to have 2 more first aid classes in the Tampa Bay area, actually the west side. So in, in March 18th, is going to be a class in Clearwater. And now these are all-day classes, but they're free. So, and they're excellent classes for people to take. Everybody should take one of these. So there's one March 18th in Clearwater. It doesn't say exactly where. It gives the address. And then we're going to have one on May 20th. In Newport Richey at Baycare's office on Massachusetts. And again, they're free classes. What else? I think, is that the 2 that I had? I can't remember. I think those are the main things right there. Any questions? The flyers are on our website. I have them on the Rotary District 6950 Mental Health Initiatives Group website. And if you have any questions, just email me or call me at the foundation office and we'll get the information to you. I really recommend these classes. And we're working on getting a 3rd class going, hopefully in Hernando County, because we do have, we have our support groups. We have a support group in Hernando County, and that was the other one. The support groups for February, and I was getting everything all mixed up last night at our support group. So our support groups in Spring Hill in February is going to be February 11th. And the support group in Newport Richey is going to be February 19th. Yep, those are the dates. And we are starting a workshop, but I think we're at our class limit. That's going to start January 31st. And it's going to be at the NAMI office too. But those are the groups. I've been considering changing the Newport Richey one, but still, as of now, and until further notice, it's going to be at the Oasis on the 3rd Thursday. All right. I think that's the business side. And hopefully, I think I didn't forget anything. So last week I had mentioned just a teeny bit about mindset. And it kind of comes at, and I didn't even know this morning. I was listening to my morning routine. I watched the Today Show, and I didn't know that, because oh, what's his name? Da, 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 da. And now I can't remember his name. The guy on the Today Show. Anyways, mentioned that January was Mental Wellness Month. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, it's not. It's May. So I went in and I Googled it. Well, guess what? We got two different ones, and they are separate. So, and this is where mindset falls into this month. So January's Mental Wellness Month focuses on, that's the flyer for that. So that's why this is important. Mental Wellness Month focuses on proactive, everyday self-care and prevention after the holidays, emphasizing habits for overall well-being. While May's Mental Health Awareness Month is a national campaign to educate, reduce stigma around mental illness, and advocate for better access to care and treatment. So that QR code there for this one, this is for the March one. That QR code will sign you up for the March one. I do have another flyer for the May one, and the QR code will probably be different. But again, they'll both be on the website. I just didn't want to put, the flyers look exactly the same except for the location and dates and times. So, but we got the March one and the May one, and that's I'm not kidding. When we had this class a couple years ago, it's limited to like 35 people, and we had a full class, and everybody came out of there like with an aha moment, and they were just so thankful and grateful for what they learned during this class. So anyway, so back to Mental Wellness Month. Focus is on proactive self-care, stress management, and establishing healthy routines. The goal, build resilience and connect with oneself after holiday pressures. Activities, mindfulness, exercise, connecting with others, and setting small goals. And that's kind of our thing for January is New Year, New Hope. And quite frankly, I've been feeling it a lot. And I guess that's why that's where we've been going towards for this month, starting out the new year. And it's been a long time since I felt that way. But like I was talking to John earlier, it makes me excited about it. So we're going to talk more about mindset. I listen to, and something that has helped me a lot, and it's not something that I don't think anyone can do just like, oh, we'll do it for a week or so. I mean, I've been doing this for months, over a year, maybe a year, at least 6 months, every morning and every night. I listen to some sort of podcast, and even during the day when I'm working. At night and in the morning, I listen to meditation stuff. You just pull it up on YouTube, and it's real easy, and it shuts off. But I listen to Mel Robbins a lot, and I was listening to her, and this was after we were talking about mindset. And there's this gal, she is a Stanford research, Dr. Alia Crum. And she explains that mindset is more like a mental setting, a lens through which we interpret our experiences. And these settings quietly shape what we notice, how we feel, and how we respond to life. And the powerful part about it is we can adjust these settings, even during difficult times. So we're going to go through what is mindset versus positive thinking. So mindset, people, I think we come to mindset as we don't understand it properly. So it's not about telling yourself, just to think positive. It's, and that's, mostly what we hear is just think positive. And that's really kind of hard. Everybody, you're going through a really hard time. How can I think positive? But Dr. I hope I'm saying her name right, Alia, explains that mindset is more like a mental setting, like I said, a lens through which we interpret our experiences. These settings can be adjusted. So there's research behind this. So you take research into reality. So this is based on science, and I'm learning so much in the research that I do for this show, more so than ever now. How so many things that you don't really kind of think of naturally, how you can find research-based information and it validates things. So her research shows that our beliefs don't affect our mood, that they actually influence our bodies. And I've talked about that before, how there's the mind body connection. And it's not really anything new, but it's new to people who've never thought about it before. I had spoken before about a gal that I knew or I had met, and I only met her one time. And she's only told 2 people that her husband died by suicide in 15 years. Now, this was probably, probably 5 years ago, 4 years ago. And so she probably hasn't told anybody since. And how it has affected her body keeping this secret, because physically she is aged probably 10 years, not 10, I'd say 20 years more than her real age. And I see it with my sister-in-law, one of my sister-in-laws. It's the same thing. She doesn't want help from people. She wants to keep things close to the vest. And where we have a whole family that could be helpful and supportive, but she doesn't want to do that. And she's in her early 70s, and she actually physically is older than my mother-in-law. Her mom was when my mother-in-law passed away at 88. So there is that connection. How we think about stress, food, exercise, and even healing can change hormonal levels, energy, and physical responses. And it doesn't mean that our struggles are just in our head. I mean, it means that the mind and body are deeply connected. And this connection gives us another tool for healing. So, for you guys listening, stress doesn't feel like it's a short-term challenge. I mean, you feel, and especially with not only what's going on in our internal environments within our families, externally, there's just what's going on in the world. It feels constant. It feels heavy. It feels exhausting. That's why I limit my news. Because I get like and it doesn't take much, and I just get overwhelmed, and it's just like, oh my God, I just can't. It's exhausting. So when you're living with depression, grief, trauma, even suicidal thoughts, the the world can feel overwhelming. Um, and it's easily done, in the times that we have, and it feels like it's unmanageable. Hopelessness has a way of convincing us that nothing will change and that we're broken. If you're in that state, if that's where you are, you're not weak and you're not alone. Seriously, there's a lot of people that are feeling the same way. But how can we change this? How can we reframe this? Dr. Crum's research invites us to look at fear and stress differently. Okay? Instead of seeing them as only things that are wrong, signs that are wrong, we can then begin to understand them as signals. And this is something that's really, really important. It's signals that our body is trying to protect us. Back in the caveman days, when they had to fight or flight, they didn't have a lot of tools, but a lot of things depended on whether they were going to live or die in the blink of a moment. You have a lion or a tiger all of a sudden shows up, and what are you going to do? And your adrenaline rushes. Ours are a bit more subtle, but with the way our world is today, we're bombarded all the time with information. But this is happening because our body is trying to protect us and prepare us, and kind of in a way trying to help us figure out how to cope. Reframing stress doesn't mean ignoring what is happening. Because you can't, believe me, you can't do that. That is the worst thing you can do, because you're just going to put it down, suppress it. It's going to build and build, and it can only stay there for so long. But if we recognize it, then we can reframe our response in a way that will help support resilience rather than drain us. And I can see this is what happened to me. A few years ago, I was like in my third year, I think, after losing Bobby, and we had Art for Hope in September, and then here comes November. It was before we had the walk, but in November we had Suicide Loss Survivors Day, and then it's Bobby's birthday and my first husband's birthday. They're a day apart, and then it's Thanksgiving, and then it's Christmas. And I had, during that, I guess, October, November time, had not consciously, but I would kind of change my diet. And I was just like, well, I was seeing all these coupons. Well, I haven't never had this before. Well, let me try this. But it was all processed foods. And I was about 6 months, 5 or 6 months into it, 5 months. And there was about 3 people in my life that could see what was happening. And I was in a depression. My eating didn't help. But one day I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, this is what's happening to me. And I could see that in hindsight, part of what was happening to Bobby. It wasn't the food thing, because we ate healthy, but I could see the correlation with the depression. And I was like, oh my God, I got to do something different. I need to reframe. I need to make a shift in my emotions and what I'm thinking and get myself out of this. Fortunately, one of the people was my aunt, who came down and stayed with me right after Bobby died, and she came down and stayed with me for a month. And we did a lot of things, and we did a lot of talking, and she wanted me to go on medication, and I was like, we don't. Bobby and I never believed that. And she's like, okay, I'm going to give you 3 months to get yourself together. Otherwise, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And so that's what I did. So I made the shift to help me feel like, I didn't feel trapped once I knew and I realized what was happening. A lot of people don't have that ability. And it's not easy. But you can be trapped by your emotions. But it helps if you make that shift. It can help you reframe them and help you navigate a little bit better. Like I said, it's not easy, but it's possible. I know, because I'm kind of living proof. So I've got a couple things here. Well, let's finish this up. So, and this is a thing, and it's kind of ironic that it goes back to this. There's hope. Kind of see a theme? You don't have to change everything at once. Small science-based mindset shifts can gently change how life feels without denying the reality of the pain or the struggle. You have to acknowledge the pain and the struggle. You have to, because you can't just, like I said, you can't just put it aside. You have to work through it. But just by adjusting, by adjusting the lens that you're looking through, we can see. And sometimes this is kind of hard for me, but it's true. It's just sometimes kind of hard to really get it out because it makes it real. We can see our experiences can open ourselves to compassion, to energy, and to possibility. Even in our darkest moments, there's room for hope. That's what this show is all about. If you go back from the very beginning of these shows, I was in a much different place than I am now. But it's just resilience, perseverance, and not hiding the pain and not saying, oh, well, it's not there. Oh, I'm really good. Because that's not the way. No, that's not the way I am. And anybody that knows me, even John, my producer, I go through all the emotions, and I wear them on my sleeve sometimes. Well, most of the time, but I really, really try to believe that change is possible, that life is hopeful. Change is possible. I said change is possible. I'm just like, see, I'm getting really into this, but it's true. And that's what I want for, all of you guys. I have some, I can find them, some questions, and if you feel so inclined, you can take some time and write these down, or journal them, put something in the comments. I'm going to see if I can go through these, kind of quickly. But here's some things that I want you just to reflect on. When you're under stress, do you usually tell yourself about what it means. What is the stress about? How might your body be trying to protect or support you, even when things feel overwhelming? Is there one small belief or expectation that could soften or reframe your week? What would it look like to treat yourself to actually, what would it look like to treat your stress or fear with curiosity instead of judgment? And what does hope look like for you right now without the pressure to feel better? Just take some time and just think about those. Come back, rewind this if you haven't written them down, um, and share with us in the comments any of the answers to any of these or all of them. Um, I really would like to hear, because it's important. It's important for all of us. One of our things from the very beginning is we heal in community. We don't heal on our own. And I have been like super extremely unfortunate and grateful, for my community. And it's not always my family. It's, my friends, my business community, John, Lynn, people that I know. So our quote for today is progress, not perfection. Even just a little bit of progress will make you feel so much better. And it will give you the momentum to go to the next step. Do the next thing. Work through the pain, the stress, the anxiety. Don't push it down. Just progress. Doesn't have to be perfect. Please remember to put these numbers in your phone. Have them ready. 988, it's the easiest thing to remember. Don't be afraid to talk to someone. Don't be afraid to ask. Just that one ask might save that person's life. There is always hope.